It's Madden NFL 24, where division rivals will clash in the AFC West. It's the Raiders and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
In a few months' time, snow will blanket the Great Peaks just to our west, but for now, summer still in full swing at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, we've got a compelling AFC matchup for you, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, such a great quarterbacking tradition here in the Mile High City. It continues with the presence now of Russell Wilson. What's your outlook of year two?
Cautiously optimistic, because Russell Wilson, a down year last year, but he's been so great throughout his career, you expect him to get back to those heights. Pair him with Sean Payton, the new head coach, put those two minds together, and I'm expecting Denver to be much improved.
And then for the Raiders, this is a tough team to figure out. They stumbled home to a 6-11 finish last year. But you say if they want to turn things around, it has to start on the defensive end.
It certainly does, and while they've had some dynamic pass rushers along the way, they've needed more, and they've added them now in free agency and the draft, as well as some new faces on the back end to help shut down people throwing the football.
And off we go from Denver. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his second season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Wilson. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll show the defense.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. No score after one on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. His throw incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Now he's free at the 35. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. On first down, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson will throw again. Open man, he completes it to Judy. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack.
Jones not quite the boost to the pass rush the Raiders hoped he'd be. Only 4.5 sacks in 2022. Still, he was a Pro Bowler in 2021, so plenty of hope that there's some playmaker left and one of the league's active sack leaders.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Marr able to put this one through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G last year. When he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. But Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco, but avoiding injury while doing so.
So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been all about the defense. Just a lone field goal in that first half. And as a result, not too much available in terms of highlights. But that's okay. We've got a full half to go. And to bring it your way, let's get back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Second down, Jacobs once more. Oh, he shifts past him, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That good for 19 and a first down. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's 1st and 10.
Garoppolo to throw. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
Back to throw, Garoppolo. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I don't know if you need the big shot right there or not, because you've still got time to work some of the shorter stuff and try to get into field goal range. They did go for the big one there. It would have been nice, but it winds up incomplete.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. He's got his target. That's complete.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
To throw is Garoppolo. And his throw here's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3.
Now Garoppolo.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left, want to save it.
Remember, the one timeout still available as they come up 1st and 10.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this one is right through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. This hasn't exactly been a battle of one touchdown after the other, quite the opposite. But at 3-3 now here in the fourth, it's been an entertaining game considering just 2 field goals.
Yeah, is it really a football game now, or are we watching baseball? Because this feels like a pitcher's duel, doesn't it? Nice and tense on the edge of your seat. Have you been scoring this one? A lot of strikeouts and ground balls in this one.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. From his end zone, here's Tremont Smith. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the third drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
2nd and 10.
To throw is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Well, their defense did its job. Now they're going to get the football with a chance to win it.
And it feels like they ran out on the field, and right before they did, they told the offense, don't worry about this. We got you. Okay, we got the situation under control. We'll get it back for you for a chance to win the game. And, boy, they did it well.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. On the return, Carter. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 5.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. One overtime. How about two? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so suddenly during this series, but what will be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's going to have the Broncos first down as he'll get this up to about the 42. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Caught by Dulcich. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now it's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So it all rests now on the right foot of Brett Maher. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime. Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.